Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Today, Monday Momentum is about creating some momentum as we close out this current month and we jump into the next month. We're going to talk about how to reset, refocus, and actually make the progress that you want to make in the next month. So, if you're joining me, let me know that you're here. I would love to say hi to you in the chat. Also, let's get the chat going. How are we ending up June? Today's the last day of the month, and there's still some things we can do to finish out June strong. But talk to me. Tell me in the chat how you're finishing up June. It could be you've been working on audience building and where you're at with that. It could be you're up or down in sales. Let me know where you're at. It could be you're up or down in subscriber count. Let me know. Just give me something to go off of. How are we looking for June? Now, here's the other thing. If you're sitting here going, well, dang, I don't even know how I'm doing for June because I haven't even looked at my numbers. That's a problem. That's a problem. And that's something that we need to fix. And we can do that. We need to fix. If you don't know where you end up for the month with your subscriber count, it's something we need to check. If you don't know how your audience building efforts are going, it's something we need to check. If you don't know if you're up or down in sales, it's something that we need to check. And Mondays are a great time to check that. Make it a habit for you on Monday mornings to go in and check sales, check subscriber count, check following. Like, where are we at with building our audience? You're following your list. We need to make a habit of looking at these numbers, because when we don't look at these numbers, we don't know where we stand. Some of you right now are probably up for the month and you're feeling maybe like you're down or things aren't going well, but you're actually up. And so your numbers don't lie to you. Some of you are working on things that aren't moving the needle and you're down in areas and you don't know that you're down in areas because you haven't been looking at those numbers. So my first challenge for you for the new month is to start looking at our numbers. I'm going to come over here and say hi, and then we're going to dig in because I have some actionable things for you to work on today, this week, this month, the rest of this year. We're going to get into it. Good morning, Dana. Good to see you. Good morning, Shireen. Hey, Shakira. Good morning, Beth. Happy Monday to you as well. Good morning, Christina. Good morning, Sierra. Good morning, Lexi. Nikki's here. She says, I've been working on audience building, getting my ads ready to go, figuring out when I'm going to launch. Nikki, you can launch with me because we're launching together inside Launch Your Box on July 22nd. So if you haven't figured out a date, just pick July 22nd and do it with me. Audience building in full effect. Good morning, Christy. Good morning. Down a bit. Do not stress. Do not stress. We've got this. Good morning, Cameron. Good morning, Sue. Finally been going through and working on the modules. Good job. Every little bit is progress. Audience building is what Dana's been working on. She's up 294 followers on Instagram. That's incredible. That's big progress on Instagram. Sales are down. That's okay. Beth says, packing boxes. I just grew by 8 subscribers in June and celebrating. I love that. I love that. Christina had successful camps for June. I know she does art camps. Building my audience, and I'm getting ready to do a page like ad done today. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's dig into it. Let me know how you're doing. Hey, everybody. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Jonica. Hey, Barb. Hey, Sharon. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so here's what I want you to sit with today. And if you have a notepad wherever you're watching me from, grab your notepad. I'm gonna have you think about some things today. It doesn't matter what happened in June. It doesn't matter. June's almost over. And what I love about a new month is that it's a complete reset for me. It's a complete refresh. Right now, I have tasks that are not done for June. I have things that are not done. But you know what? I'm going to get them done. It's just not in the time frame that I had hoped to get them done. If there is something you wanted to do for June that you didn't get done, write it down right now or pop it in the chat for me. What didn't you get done for June that you really wanted to? We're going to press reset. It doesn't matter what didn't get done for June because we're going to start fresh tomorrow with July. So there is a big project that I didn't get finished, and I know that I'm going to get it done in the next week. And so I'm just going to give myself the grace to say I didn't get it done, but now that I didn't get it done, what do I need to do to ensure that I get that done in this next month? Okay? So I just want you to close your eyes for a minute. And I did this with my life coach. I call him Dr. Phil. His name is Phil. His name is not Dr. Phil. It is not the Dr. Phil. But we would talk about this heavy backpack. Okay. So a lot of times in life, you're carrying this backpack and it has a lot of rocks in it. And it's this heavy weight. And all these things that we don't have done weigh heavy on us. Like there's a lot of things that are undone in my life right now. I've been dealing with a bunch of hail damage. So I've got roof damage. I've got car damage. And it's just dealing with it one thing after another. Then I've got a situation with my son's car. I keep having to deal with the dealership on. Then my internet sucks and they're having to dig fiber for me. There's just all these things that are undone in my life. And every time something is undone, it just like piles onto me. Then there's work. Then there's my kids. Then there's my parents. Then there's my fiance. Like all these things are weighing on me. All these things are weighing on me, right? And so I think of every one of them as a rock in my backpack, and it's this weight that I'm carrying around. And so then there's this big project that I don't have done for my business. It's a big rock. It's taken up a big chunk of my backpack because every day I get up and get out of bed, I got to put that backpack on. And until I can remove some of these rocks from my backpack, I'm carrying around this heavy weight of things unfinished, of things unsettled, of things that I have to handle, right? And so a lot of us feel that way, whether it's in our own life, like I'm dealing with all this stuff going on from the hail damage. I've got wedding planning that I'm dealing with. That's the fun rocks. But then I've got all the work stuff that I need to get done and knowing I need to get ahead in work because of my travel schedule. Like all of these things are in my backpack. And until I can start to remove these things, they're going to weigh on me. And they've been weighing on me very heavily. And I want you to put your backpack down today. And I want you to pull the rocks out of that backpack that you've been carrying around. And I want you to identify what are the things that are weighing you down and how can we remove them from your backpack? Because this is your mental backpack. You're carrying around this weight of all these things that you haven't done. But all we have to do is stop and reset and make some plans to make progress. And so that's what I want you to do today. So what of your rocks? I want you to lay out your rocks. If you are a note taker, grab a notebook. It's like, what do I have done? I want you to list that out today. Okay. I haven't been growing my audience. I know I'm going to launch next month and I haven't been growing my audience. Okay. That's a rock. That's kind of a heavy weight, right? Like I can't launch to no people. So what habit can I form in this month going forward to grow my audience? Okay. I want you to make yourself some action steps. Sales are down. I've heard a couple of you say that sales are down. That's a heavy weight. That's a heavy rock to carry around every single day when sales are down and you've got rent to pay and you have employees to pay, or you need to make money to buy the next shipment for your subscription box. That's a heavy rock to be weighed down by. So what can I do to make sales this week? I can go live. I can send an email. I can do some reels. What can I do? And how can I not only do that this week, but how can I make a consistent habit of that going forward? Okay. What would make me proud to complete by the end of this month? Not me, not Sarah, you. What would make you proud to get out of your backpack? We have to start making progress towards that, because if it's this big, heavy thing that we keep putting off and putting off and putting off because it's going to take too long for us to do, we're going to get at the end of July and it's not going to be done as well. And that rock instantly weighs heavier because we've not made any progress on removing that from our backpack. And so it's just like knowing your numbers, right? Like when we popped on and I talked about knowing your numbers, some of you don't know where you stand. That's the same thing with these tasks that we have to do, with these goals that we are setting. We have to write them down and we have to stay on top of them week after week. So when you think about building your audience, that is a daily task. That is a weekly check-in. That is a weekly analytical check-in. How am I doing and what can I change? And so where can you put that on your calendar? All right, every Wednesday, I'm going to look at my following. I'm going to look at my list. I'm going to look at my ads, and I'm going to make sure I'm growing. And if I'm not growing on Wednesday, I'm going to make a change to that, right? Sales. I'm going to check my sales every Friday, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to make sure that I'm making progress in that area because I'm checking it. And once you start to build these habits, these rocks come out of your backpack and they're not weighing you down anymore. So I want you to start by putting one goal, choose one focus that creates momentum for this week, whether it's going to be a project I'm going to get done, whether I'm going to be audience building focused, whether I'm going to be launching this month, whether I'm focused on sales. Put one goal for July in the chat for me. That could be grow my following by 1,000 followers. That could be increase my sales over last July by $1,000. It could be launch my subscription and increase by 40 subscribers. Whatever that is, I want you to think about that, and I want you to put it in the chat because this is where accountability comes in. We've got to hold ourselves accountable. And if we don't ever say it out loud, and if we don't ever write it down, and we don't have an action plan to go with it to get there, it's just a wish. It's not a goal. It's a wish. Sharon, grow my following by what? We've got to get specific here. Grow my following to what? Nikki says, grow my followers by 100. Doris says, I'm going to get my website published. This is a great example. Now, Doris, what I want you to do is I want you to bullet point. What is it going to take for me to get my website published this month? And I want you to bullet point that. I got to do this. We've got to do this. I've got to check on this. And this is what you build off of to get that goal. Okay? Lexi, 300 new subscribers by the end of the month. How is that going to happen? I'm going to launch on this date. I've got to increase my ad spend to get there, right? Like, what is it going to take for you to get to those 300? I want you to list it out because if we don't know, then we're just saying, I want 300 subscribers, right? Cameron, I want to double my subscribers. How are we going to get there? We have to make that little roadmap of where we currently are and where we want to be. So if Cameron is here, we'll just say Cameron has 50 subscribers. I have no clue. And she wants to double her subscribers. She's going to get to 100. How is she going to get to 100? That's the roadmap that we have to write down. And then we have to spend the month working on that roadmap. Okay? Shauna says, create a back to school collection to promote in July. What date in July? How many pieces are in this collection? What do you need to order? What do you need to design? When do the designs need to be done? I want you to write your roadmap down and then have your date. All right? This is what I'm talking about. We've got one rock that we're going to get out of our backpack, and that's going to lead to some more rocks that are going to get out of your backpack. But I want you to think about what is going to get me there and how do I get there? All right? So think about your one goal. Your one goal. And if you're launching with me, that's a great goal because we're launching together inside Launch Your Box. And we actually start tomorrow. Maybe you didn't do all the audience building that you thought you were going to do in June. It's okay. Give yourself grace to let it go. June's over. We're starting now in July. And what you do today is going to get you to where you want to be tomorrow. So every day that goes by, how can you get yourself to that goal? So every day that goes by, if you're launching with me this month, I'm going to give you tasks, and I need you to build those habits in. How can you check your numbers? How can you check on your goal? I want you to hold yourself accountable for July, because whatever happened in June, it's gone. But we're still carrying around those rocks in our backpack. And we need to move forward, and we need to release all this pressure that's on ourselves. We have a fresh start. I'm I'm excited about the fresh start. Always get excited for a new month. And I come up with all these fresh ideas. Here's what I'm going to do this month. Here's what I'm going to do this. Here's what I'm going to do here. And I start to write it down. But if I don't put action plans behind it, it doesn't happen. So when you figure out what you want to do for July, let's make your roadmap. And if you're launching with me, I've got the roadmap figured out for you. All you have to do is show up with me. If you're in Launch Your Box, show up with me every Tuesday this month, and we're going to launch together. If you're in Scale Your Box, you can show up with me every Tuesday, and I'll be with you Thursday on Zoom. We're going to do this. Lexi's going to get to 300 subscribers. Cameron's going to double her subscription. We're going to do this if we speak that and if we keep following the blueprint to get there. We can't just hope by the end of the month that Lexi has 300 subscribers. That's not how she's going to get there. She's got to have an action plan. All right? So what can you do today to help you reach your goal for July? That's what I want you to do. I want you to figure that out today. I want you to write it down. And team, who's ever on here with me today, I don't know who's here with me today, can you make a post inside Launch Your Box? I want you to share your roadmap with me. Whatever you're writing down today, your goal and how you're going to get there, your action plan, even if it's just on a chicken scratch piece of paper, I want you to take a picture of it and I want you to share that inside Launch Your Box with me. That's how we hold ourselves accountable. We can do things in July. We can make big progress in July, and we're going to do it together. All right? So pick your goal, write your roadmap, and let's start building habits to move forward, and forget about June. June is done. Let's look forward to July. All right? I'll see you guys soon. Tomorrow is our first Let's Launch Together live. I'm going to give you action plans for the week, show you what I'm working on this week, and we're going to make progress. So make sure you show up. This is another thing. Just showing up is going to help you make momentum. I will be live in Launch Your Box every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central this month, and we're going to launch together. So make sure that you show up tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central. Block time in your schedule. Take your lunch break when I'm live. Make sure you have a quiet place to learn. Show up and let's do this together. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.